Parliament began an inquiry this week into last year's anti-sexual violence summit, fronted by former Foreign Secretary William Hague and Angelina Jolie. It cost the British taxpayer over £5 million to raise awareness of rape as a weapon of war in nations like Congo. But did it address the heart of the issue? Campaigners believe sexual violence there is catalyzed by the mining for a mineral used in all mobile phones. Charlotte Simon Bogumba thinks it's about time we started investigating the UK mining companies involved and the connection between the US-backed Rwandan and Ugandan governments and rape in Congo. She's founder of the NGO Mothers of Congo. Welcome, Charlotte, to Going Underground. First of all, tell me a little bit about the UK-registered charity Mothers of Congo.
Yes, Mothers of Congo is a charity and pressure group. Actually, it's, especially the members are women, you know, because the people are suffering actually in the Congo are mainly women and girls. So we were inspired to call the pressure group Mothers of Congo. Mothers of Congo came through TG Foundation. TG Foundation is a charity that my daughter started 8 years ago to help victims of rape and also the children. We care for those children, we send them to school. Children only born of rape and orphaned from rape. That's what we do.
Now, what's interesting here, I mean, we go out globally on this show, but for Britain, I mean, Britain and Congo, the relationship certainly very recently has been about a bribery scandal over destroying the environment. But there's a connection between the rape of women, sexual violence, and British consumer habits for electronics and this mineral here behind us.
Yes. There's a connection, a big connection, because a lot of British companies invest in Congo, even bought mines in the Congo. So therefore, there's a big connection. So that's what we're trying to load.
So those are the companies, and they're mining coltan or tantalum?
Coltan, tantalite, because you know coltan, without coltan, you can't use your mobile phone. It sustains the heat. So, I mean, Congo holds 85% of it. You know, Canada a little bit, but Congo is the main provider at the moment, you know, so, I mean, it's just companies are there, you know, and they even fueling the rape in the Congo.
And 85% of the world's tantalum comes from Congo. It fuels the sexual violence. Yeah. You and others have compared the Taliban's use of opium to these rebel groups, so-called rebel groups in Congo's use of this.
They're not rebels. No, they're not rebels.
They're gangsters, in fact.
They're not even gangsters. They're very well-trained soldiers.
And these militants work with British mining companies?
Yes, they do. They do. And with any big companies in the world, you know, not just British. There are some Canadian companies and, you know, French companies. And, I mean, at the moment, let's say the British and the Americans are supporting Kagame and Museveni. They soldiers who are coming to Congo, invading Congo again and again and again. The second invasion, the first one was with Kabila, Laurent Kabila, and the second one came with Museveni and
supported completely by the UN agencies, the IMF, and they're all connected to the tantalum in our phones.
Yes.
It's interesting because when you talk about those groups, militant groups that are using sexual violence. I don't know what to call them, really.
They're soldiers. They're not militants.
People became suspicious because it was the United States NGOs saying, we must do something about this, and some suspected that this was a way of getting American military forces into Africa against China, and there was a proxy war over that was happening. You're saying, no.
No.
Actually, the United States has connections with these groups, Lord's Resistance
The United States is supporting, I've been saying it over and over again, I've been appearing here in the Parliament many times, you know, denouncing what the United States and the British are doing in the Congo. It's not right, because those people are innocent. They don't even know they're living under the coltan. You know, they live in the villages, and then they send those soldiers. They are soldiers, well-trained soldiers. And I repeat it again, from Rwanda and Uganda.
So who is doing the raping, in effect?
Those soldiers. And now they're trying to turn it, towards the Congolese soldiers. So what happened is, those so-called rebels, M23 for instance, they're all Tutsi soldiers. So what happened, they're calling themselves Congolese rebels. So they go to negotiation, and then after that they get released, and they go to Congolese army. So they're doing the same thing all over and again with the UN, the accomplice. UN is accomplice on that.
How is the UN an accomplice in rape and sexual violence in Africa?
Oh my goodness, I tell you, it's just, they even run brothels.
But what reply do you get as mothers of Congo from United Nations agencies when you make these allegations?
There's no reply. So far from United Nations, they've been trying to organize those events. We had about 2 years ago, Stop Violence, Sexual Violence in Conflicts, at the Excel. They come up with things like that. It's time to act. So far, 2 years ago, nothing. Women have been raped again and again and again. About 2 years, even 2 weeks ago, 127 women were raped, and the UN was just a few miles away from them.
Well, we all know the mobile phones are getting cheaper. People probably don't know this aspect. Tell us more about the scale of it, because one statistic, the American Journal of Public Health accepted 48 an hour, which is 26 times the UN figure.
48 women an hour are raped, and girls are raped in Congo. And I like that because I was watching a program about 2 years ago when William Hague went to Congo with Angelina Jolie, and this lady, the journalist from Channel 4, was interviewing. She was doing
Angelina Jolie considered a great hero trying to fight sexual violence.
No. You know what? What makes me really angry, people want to write my history. People want to tell me how to live my life in my country. And that really makes me angry. All these shows must stop. Congolese people are human beings. They're not toys or something they can just play with. It's time for them to stop. And I'm saying enough is enough.
How many companies, it's now Phil Hammond who's the Foreign Secretary here. We do know that the first leader of Congo, Patrice Lumumba, was killed with British help. It was admitted here in Britain that Britain helped to assassinate him. How many British companies and foreign companies are we talking about?
We're talking of foreign companies, 85 so far. 85, maybe more, And the British company, about 12 companies.
And this enters the supply chain into what we see on our high streets?
Yes.
The big brand names,
the big brand name for iPhones, and I always said, how can they sleep at night? One day I know things are going to come. They're coming into open slowly, and they're using Rwanda and Uganda to do that.
And it's all the technology companies, not just
all,
Apple, Samsung, Dell,
all of them.
And what would you ask David Cameron and Philip Hammond then to do? Investigate the companies?
Yes, investigate the company and come out to say to Rwanda and Uganda to stop what they're doing in the Congo. Even UN. I voted for David Cameron. I voted for, hoping that he will see, as a voter, as a taxpayer, I'm British, and it breaks my heart to see, because I will fight for this country. I remember when the bomb went off here. I was driving my bus. My child, my daughter, was working. I didn't know if she was alive or she was injured, but I kept on driving my bus because I know I got to serve this country. And when I went back to my garage, they asked me, do you want to go home? I said no. It made me angry to see that people can force me to leave my job. I said, no, I'm going to continue my job because that's what I am, to serve this country. And I pay my taxes. I pay my taxes not to go and pay for some weapons to kill people in the world. No, I pay it to do something constructive for this country.
Charlotte Simon Bagomba, thank you.
Thank you very much.
We contacted a leading UN agency in Congo, MONUSCO, about the allegations in that interview, but they did not get back to us in time for this broadcast. That's it for today. More